I'm back from Miami. It's cold here. It's really cold here. It's like 32 right now. I came from 85, so kind of a bummer. Maybe get these goats a bale of hay. And then they finished theirs off, I think, in less than a week, which is not good because I only bought about enough them to have one a week. But I didn't have alpacas last year, so I don't know how fast they really eat it. Oops. Well, I'm gonna get this hay over to them. And then, oh my God, I'm gonna die first. I'll see you guys in a second. It's really hard for me to feed my goats when my goats are not on my property, but across the freaking street. Give me some nice full scoop of grain here. Get oops. Gotta find somewhere to hold that. Open this door. Go find my goats. Just got a phone call from Miles, who was just here dropping off a new throwout bearing for his 350Z. He said, "Hey man, you've got some goats across the street." Sure enough, I got goats. Oh, they're running. Wifey went out and got them. I got them the stuff. They look so cute. They're all fluffy in their winter fur.
Come on, go.
Oh, is that where they get out?
Yep. Yep.
Well, would you look at that? Huh. Oh, you guys want some grain now, don't you? Albert, you want some grain? Look at the size of the dog compared to the size of the wife. They're like the same size. Look at her. Oh, this is some puppy ASMR. She's still a puppy. She's only like 9 months old.
Get out.
I don't get to say. I watched on the security cameras where it started snowing while we were going in Miami.
Yeah.
And well, Lily is smarter than I thought. She actually used her doghouse finally. She was hanging out in there to stay out of the sleet and snow.
Honey.
I ate some dog food too. All these animals, they be eating, they be hungry. We're back in the saddle again. This time I'm gonna jack his car up a lot higher. I'm kind of a big boy, and rolling around under that thing at the height that it's at right now, which is the same height it was at last time I was working on it, with the creeper, I'm just too close. It's hard for me to get my arms moved around, so I'm just gonna jack it up a lot higher and see if I can't make it easier on myself this time. Time-lapse time. Well, that's a bummer. I don't think it's quite high enough for another set of wheels under there. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. I guess I'll throw some jack stands, some actual jack stands under it. All right, we're sitting on the jack stands and the jack. I think it's safe. Safety first. What would I say before? Birth control first? So I'm pretty sure after this throwout bearing gets changed on this car that I'm not gonna have to mess with it anymore. So I kind of want to know what you guys want to see me do next. And in doing this research, I'm going to show you guys kind of all the stuff that we have around here that needs to be worked on. So since I'm standing right next to it, one thing that I have a lot of stuff that I can do right now without spending any money or anything is work on this car. This is my 350Z that has like no engine in it, obviously no transmission. It's empty there. But what the car does have is like full ice pad in the front. Don't know how much of that you can really see. Taylor Race spec BCs all the way around. Mostly like Voodoo 13 and ISR stuff in the back. Like Halo seat. Roll cage that comes all the way out into the doors. Doors are cut out. You know, it's all stripped. The back is cut out. There's no glass here. It's pretty light. It's been stripped down pretty heavy. But this car is getting a 2JZ swap, and I have out front of the garage right now, which you've probably seen in some of my previous videos already. There's an SC300, which I'm using the bottom end from, and there's an IS300 out there that actually already has a full turbo kit, Link Fury, like fuel system, everything. It's ready to go. So if I put the two together and have the strong bottom end from the SC and the good flowing VVTi head from the IS with the turbo kit and everything, that engine should be capable of way more power than I want. It should be capable of 700 or 800 horsepower. I'll run it at like 5, but I have both of those cars and I have this car, and I need to like put everything together. I'm gonna be running a CD trans. I'm waiting on a friend of mine that wants the IS300 after I yank the engine out is actually going to give me a transmission adapter for the car, for the chassis. That way I don't have to buy that, and he's got a car that's pretty much ready to go, because that car also has an angle kit, hydro, half a cage, all that stuff, and I just don't need it. I already have this, I already have my Corvette, I don't need that car. So there's that. That's one option. Another option is this car over here, which is my dad's. He bought it from my roommate. It's another 350Z. What do you know? This car is all stock right now. It was in a rear end collision, so it's had the back cut off, but everything's pretty straight what's left. So we got to do some fab work to get like a bash bar, like half cut set up back there, and then it's my dad's got a lot of cool fancy parts for it. There's like a seat right there. In the house we've got like LRB door panels, so we can do a cage with door bars that aren't totally cutting out the door panels. It's missing like the front core support and stuff, so we're gonna do a tube front on it, bash bar, headlight tabs, radiator support, stuff like that. Stock VQ needs an alternator and a transmission. That'd be the first thing we do, is get it running and driving. So we put an alternator and a transmission in, and then we start doing all the fab work, and he's got coilovers, angle kit, hydro, all that stuff for it. So we'd be doing all that too. So this is another option, something else we can tackle. This would be a longer project. Both of these would be longer projects. Maybe we could like dabble in one and then dabble in the other. I don't know. This is also my dad's car. I put this engine in this car. It used to be in that car. It's a still in supercharged VQ car. It's cool. It sounds good. It's decently fast. He's got some stuff he wants to do this too. He wants to do like test pipes on it and stuff, because it has some clogged up cats and whatnot, and then just little things. I think he wants to put coilovers and stuff on that too. So that's something else we could work on. Another thing we could work on, which unfortunately I worked on really recently off camera before I started filming. I wish I hadn't, because I know everything I do out here is stuff that maybe you guys want to see, maybe you think I'm annoying, I don't know. But it's just a FCRX7, S5 I think, 13B. The blown up one is scattered around right there. And then this one is supposed to run the Justin, who you've seen in one of my other videos, actually owns this car. This is one of the Mazdas I talked about in his little description there. We put this engine in here, and it's got like solid mounts and stuff. Big, super long header. The header doesn't end until, like, I'm not even going to try to show you, you won't be able to see it, but it doesn't end until like the middle of the front seat. So that's kind of cool, but it's supposed to be like a decently peppy NA setup, and he like deleted all the stuff out of the intake and whatnot, so this is something else we could work on. I know he really wants to get it done. Oh, what else is there? This one's not really up to me whether or not we work on it. This is my roommate's car. It's a ATI Pro charged BQ. It's gonna be on E85. He's just waiting on buying injectors, and it should make a little over 400. There's not much left to do with this car. Just waiting on him to buy some stuff, I guess. But it's a really clean car. It's nice, which will also be for sale in case you want it. So there's that. I'll take you outside and show you some of the other stuff. Another thing I will be working on, whether you like it or not, is I have to build a fence. Not because I want to, but because I have to, because of that guy over there kept calling area plan on me about all my cars. So I have to build a fence around, like, know how well you'll be able to see it, but from this part of my driveway over here around to that part of my driveway, and then up this way on both sides up to like where I'm standing right now. That way I can put all my unregistered cars, like hide them. It's got to be like a privacy fence or whatever, so I can hide them away. That way when you're driving by you can't see them. There's nothing to see on the SC300. It's an SC300. I will be parting it out, so if you're a SC guy and you want this or any parts from it or whatever, I'm taking the engine, but the rest of the car is there. It's not super nice. There's some rust and stuff there. The interior is mediocre at best. It's kind of tore up too. Both seats are trash. The rest of it's not bad. Door's kind of hard to shut. Nothing really to see there. But if you got an SC and you need some parts, holla at your boy. This car, there's a little bit to see. So, I think it's the CX Racing Turbo Kit, but hiding in there is the Link Fury, and it's got a big front mount and stuff, oil cooler, power steering cooler, all the fancy stuff. I will be running a front-facing intake manifold. I don't like this setup. It's ugly, and I don't think it'd work too well with that many pipes having to be on this side in the 350Z. I think that I need to kind of even it out a little bit. So I'm pretty excited to tear this apart. I need to get it tore apart too, because if I don't, then I can't have Trev bring me that adapter and gets this thing out of my hair. He also owns that IS300 over there. I don't know if you've seen it or not. I got a couple of these trucks. I kind of want to sell them, kind of don't. I don't know. It's the first thing me and my dad really worked on together, was those little trucks, so. But yeah, there's your options. Yank the 2JZs out of those cars and start fiddling around with my like caged Wisefab 350Z. Work on my dad's car that's back halved. Work on my dad's car that's supercharged. Work on Justin's rotary car. I think that one would be pretty cool. We might do that pretty soon. I'm kind of leaning towards dad's blue car, but you guys let me know what you think. I'll do whatever you want. Hey, it's me from the future, because somehow I forgot about both of my Chevys whenever I was talking about stuff that I can do next and wanting your guys' opinions on it. So I also have this Corvette. It's a C5. It's got custom spring rate, all Dan American coilovers. It's got long tube headers. It's been tuned by DK Goodrich. Made, I think they said 360 wheel. I don't have the papers on that, so it's kind of a claim, but I know that, you know, a LS1 with headers, intake, and tune is gonna make that, so I don't think it doesn't. But it's got vet nuts, angle, ASD hydro, quick release steering wheel and stuff. Pretty basic, half cage. That's about it. But there's some stuff I want to do on this old girl. It's a really fun car to drive. I actually daily it right now. It's cool to just go get groceries in like a drift ready Corvette. It's just fun. But this thing's not the nicest. Both aperture panels are kind of messed up. This one's not so bad. I won't get down and show you that one, but I'll get down and show you this one because it's really bad. It's like tore up all the way behind there. You can't, it's like missing part of the car. It looks kind of goofy, but I want to tackle some of that stuff. The heads-up display did the thing that these do a lot where it falls down to where you can't really see it. There's like a pin that breaks in there, so I got to pull the dash. I keep showing you guys the sun. Let me turn around. So I got to pull the dash and fix that, which it looks pretty easy to fix. The hardest part is actually getting the dash out, but I want to do that. And then I want to fix the surround that goes around, like the shifter and radio and all that. You can tell it's pretty tore up. I need to take care of that. The keys are in it because I'm about to leave for work. My lunchbox is over there. But I need to fix that stuff. I think it'd be cool to kind of put all that on video. There's Corvettes are cool. Another thing, actually, you guys are actually picking your choice for what I work on after this one, because this one's kind of important, needs to be worked on really soon. It's probably going to be next. But my tow rig, my 2007 and a half, it's the 2007 to 2013 body saw, LMM Duramax, is broken. So this is like a $20,000 truck and it's just broke. It runs, it drives, whatever, kinda sometimes when it wants to. But I replaced a bunch of stuff on it already. It's crew cab long bed 3500 HD, single wheel, not dually. Okay, I gotta walk around the old Nissan trucks here. Maybe I'll speed this up in the video. I put a race plug in, it's on the other side, can't see it anyway, that blocks off the fuel pressure regulator valve. And then that helped. It does this thing where when you get on throttle, it'll lean out, like it'll lose fuel rail pressure. So I did that and that helped a lot. That helped tremendously. But it still leaks fuel out of the fuel filter housing, which is what I'm zooming in on there. That's the fuel filter housing is what it screws into. This silver guy right here is like a hand primer, and it leaks around that, and it leaks back here on, like, I don't know what part's leaking back here, but something leaks back here too. But I bought a whole rebuild kit for it, so I got to do that. And that should fix the rest of my problems, because not only does it like lean out when you're on throttle, but it also leaks when you shut it off and it lets air in. So then there's air in the fuel system, and when you go to start the truck, it'll start and then it will die right after it starts. And that seems to be the common fix for that. So I'm gonna rebuild that and get that fixed. And that's gonna be real soon. I might start that tomorrow. So look forward to that. Look forward to getting old Satan back on the road. And I don't call it Satan because I'm dark and mysterious or anything. I call it Satan because the last 3 digits of the VIN number are none other than 666. So I don't know if you could even see that in the video, but it's there. So that's why I call it Satan. But it's a good truck whenever my battery died while I was talking to you. I was just saying that truck's a really good truck whenever it's not broken like it is right now. I've just been neglecting fixing it, but it'll pull the moon down to earth whenever it runs right. So It's got straight pipe exhaust. It's been deleted, and it has a fancy intake and aftermarket intercooler piping and stuff. It's on a tuner. It's a really good truck. Whenever it runs right, I just got to make it run right again. But so that's coming tomorrow. If the rebuild on that fuel filter housing doesn't fix all my problems, then the truck is obviously, as most of you diesel people know, is getting a lift pump. Because that's the fix-all for those trucks, is getting a lift pump. They're just expensive, and I don't want to, but I will if I have to. So, no big deal there. Look forward to that, and then after that, we'll get on to some more exciting racer cars. So the first thing I'm gonna do, sorry about the noise, is drain the gear oil again. I put that on there. How tight did I put it on? I didn't even get any on my hands that time. Proud of myself. So I got a little carried away while I was taking the exhaust off. I got the exhaust off. Most of the wiring harnesses off for the transmission, slave cylinder, a couple of other little brackets and stuff that are in the way of pulling the trans out. So all that's left now is the drive shaft, the cross. So I decided that I'm not going to do the same video twice in a row, so I'm not going to keep drowning you guys with me pulling the transmission out of this car. We're just going to do a little bit of this thing I keep hearing about on a lot of other YouTube channels. They call it YouTube magic. We're going to try that. So, all right, first time. Hopefully I can master this in one shot. Whoa! How did I get in here? Holy cow. Alright. Well, guess what? I can push in the clutch. Shift all I want. No squealing. That is exciting. Happy about that. I'm glad that this car is finally able to be given back to the owner again. Well, I'm just gonna cruise this thing. I live in the country. The block is really big. The block is probably like 1.5 miles, 2 miles. So I'm gonna cruise around this big old block and then let Miles know it's ready for him. I'll see you guys back at the shop. I do not believe this. It was literally fine while I was driving, and then I pull in the driveway and stop, and it's smoking, and I hear sizzling, and it smells like coolant, and it's coming from back here somewhere. Oh my god. This smoke tastes like coolant too. It's losing coolant somewhere. God dang it, man. I can't win with this car. So what I see right now is that there's coolant up here on this pole. This thing's huge on this side. There's coolant up here. So it can't be a head gasket, or it would be coming out below the exhaust manifold. So I think what it is probably this heater line right here. And I don't know if it's where the hose goes on. It could be right there. pipe or is it just coming from up there? I can find out. So with a rag wrapped around it up here where the hose attaches, it stops dripping down there. So that was just gravity. It's leaking up here at the hose connection. Which is good news. I think it's an easy fix. I just can't do it while it's super hot. Shoo! So I came over here to the other end of our shop and looked at where that heater line, that heater core line is going onto this pipe, and it's on all the way. I can see this bead roll here on the other one right at the end of the hose, but it looks like that's as far as they really go on. So what I'm going to do is grab like a worm gear style hose clamp instead of this kind that's on that other one right here, and I'll replace that with a worm gear style hose clamp and hope that that seals it up. If not, I guess I'll have to buy a heater hose for him, but I'll try that in the morning and we'll go from there. At least the clutch is fixed. I don't have to pull the transmission out again. I'm real tired of pulling that transmission out. Real tired of pulling the transmission out. I didn't even pull it all the way up into my work area in the shop. I left it back here. Hey, so I just got back out here to the shop today, and I way overestimated how big of a hose clamp I needed for that. I grabbed two that were just way bigger than they needed to be. It still works. There was enough slots on the hose clamp to get it to go all the way tight. Sorry about the audio, my heat's running in here. But yeah, it was a little too long, but I think it'll work. There's just gonna be an extra hose clamp dangling around down here. Sorry, Miles. Didn't want to take it off and have to pull the hose off and re-bleed the coolant system. You know how D's are when you try to bleed them. Alright, I'm just closing out this video real quick before I go to work. So I went and bled the coolant system out. It's boring. I should have filmed it. I didn't. Whatever. Please let me know what you guys want to see me work on after I get my Duramax fixed. And that's what I'll do. I'll work on whatever you guys want me to work on after the Duramax is fixed. And then we'll go from there. But this is me closing out this video. Miles' car is done, by the way. It's maintaining temperature, it's driving, it just smokes a little bit, but it's a DE. They've got the PCV blow by really bad. I told him that he probably needs to bypass that. And he either will or he'll have me do it. Either way, I don't care. As long as it gets done, because it smokes a little bit. Not nearly as bad as his last engine. His last engine smoked really bad. But thanks for watching. Subscribe if you liked it or if you want to help me out. Either way. I'll catch you on the next one. I'll be working on the Duramax.